Hi everybody. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about resistance training or hypertrophy training for muscle growth and muscle development. Obviously I am a bodybuilder, a bodybuilding coach, and I focus on hypertrophy and muscle building because that is the essential core of what we do as bodybuilders. But I think that there is plenty of evidence now to support the idea that hypertrophy training, resistance training, increasing muscle size and strength has benefits far beyond how you look or how well you perform on stage. So I'll go over a few points on that, and I'd be interested to hear some feedback if you guys have any or questions on it. So obviously there's physical benefits. So muscle hypertrophy and strength training, obviously increase in muscle size, muscle strength, which can not only help change the shape of your body to something you more favor. By adding muscle tissue to certain areas, you can change the shape of your physique, but also hypertrophy training, resistance training, by its core essential elements, also adds strength. You really can't gain muscle without getting stronger. And obviously strength has lots of benefits in daily life beyond gym performance. Just overall physical condition and ability to deal with daily stresses, physical stresses and loads, whether it's helping your friends move a sofa or repositioning your TV set, whatever it is, extra strength is not something that could be seen as unimportant in life. Besides muscle strength and size advantages, bone health is also impacted. So when you are putting your body under extreme loads, as found in resistance training, you can increase bone density. This, of course, becomes increasingly important as we get older. But I think any time in life, increased bone density is quite valuable. I've had my bone density tested in physical exams with a DEXA scan, and it's basically off the scale of what they measure, which is, I think, is a benefit to me in terms of when I get older as well. Obviously, I'm not that young, 55. Having above the scale bone density is definitely a plus. So there is that to consider as well, bone density as well as strength and muscle size. Another thing is obviously an enhanced metabolism. The more muscle you carry, the more energy you consume, the more efficient your body is. A lot of people struggle with weight loss and maintaining weight because sometimes when they drop a lot of weight to try to get in shape or just that they lose body fat, they lose a lot of muscle tissue, which causes an adaptation of slowing down your metabolism, and also simply the fact that less muscle tissue equals less energy consumption. So if they've dieted and lost muscle along with the fat, they'll find that it's much harder to keep body fat off because the lost muscle tissue is also lost calorie consumption. So myself, again, 55 years old, mid 50s, I'm about 5'8", about 220 pounds. I eat around 3,500 calories just maintenance, just to stay where I am at that body weight. Another person at my age group who doesn't train like me, doesn't have my muscle mass, would probably become, quite obese with that kind of calorie intake and without extreme activity of other kinds. So muscle mass can help preserve a healthy metabolism and allow you to eat a little more than, bare minimum to get by. Mental health benefits as well with resistance training. So stress reduction and hormone regulation, improved mood. There's a lot of research out there that supports the idea that resistance training is extremely advantageous to good hormone condition, good neurotransmitter conditions that simply make you feel better and reduce your stress in life. All exercise does it to some extent, but I think resistance training has a special ability to give benefits in that area. Cognitive benefits. There is recent research to say, particularly when you look at mental health, that resistance training can help with dementia, prevent dementia. There is something about the actual type of hormonal adaptations and neurological adaptations that happen when you do high intensity or even moderate intensity resistance training can help delay or mitigate any kind of development of dementia. This has been proven with younger people and with older people, and it's just another benefit to consider along with the others with resistance training. Obviously, a mental benefit is how you feel about yourself, self-esteem. If you are more developed, you'll tend to have a body shape that you prefer as opposed to non-developed. again, as I've always said in my writings, that the main reason for the shape of your body outside of your skeleton, the actual your frame of your body, is your muscle and your muscle composition, where your muscle is, how much of it there is that spot. We talk about male and female bodies and what they look like. A lot of that is attributed to muscle. So if you want to change the shape of your body, you can add muscle, and that almost always brings a person to a higher level of satisfaction and self-esteem with their physique, their body. Benefits for the elderly, I did mention, of course, prevention of dementia, but things like sarcopenia, which affect older people, which is muscle loss, muscle wasting, which ends up in being rather frail and fragile. I see this a lot in Japan. People have basically a low protein diet. They lose a lot of muscle. They live a long time, but a lot of them tend to be quite bent over, hunched over, because the muscles have weakened, particularly around their spine and their back. So they end up kind of bending over all the time. The low calorie consumption and general healthy eating allows their organs and things to function longer, but that muscle loss definitely has a detrimental effect to quality of life, especially later on when it gets severe. So I think it's worth looking at resistance training as a way to prevent that, delay that, mitigate it as best as we can. Balance and coordination also. If you muscle train, you train your muscles individually through different movements, you become more aware of how your joints function. And I think that can help a lot with balance and coordination, especially with the elderly. It's not to be overlooked. It's something that most of us who train in the gym regularly kind of take for granted. But if you become more aware of your body and how it functions, how the muscles articulate your limbs in various postures, and how much energy is required to use those muscles, you're going to be much more stable, better balanced, and more agile to some extent, outside of particularly athletic training. So just in summary, I just wanted to touch on some points there. Like I said, like resistance training, hypertrophy training, and the associated strength gains that come from that have significant benefits beyond just being a bodybuilder or trying to be a physique athlete. There's benefits there for people for all ages, from young to old. And again, like I say, it's not just about how you look, it's how you feel. And I don't think there's any age at which it is too late to try to gain some muscle and some strength and to try to rebuild your body. I made some significant gains in my 40s through better training and better nutrition. So I learned. Everybody can learn, everybody can make changes regardless if they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 or more. Doesn't really matter. You can always improve and be a better version of you. And I think resistance training is a great way to get there. So that's it for this little talk. I'll see you next time, and I hope that you found this valuable. Please give me some feedback if you like this kind of content and want to hear some more. Until then, over and out. See you next time.